Lynsey Layton, thank you so much for coming and having a chat with me this morning. Perhaps we can kick things off by you telling anyone who's watching a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hi, obviously I'm Lynsey. I've been doing CrossFit properly for about 2 years now. I train all the time with my daughter Beth. Obviously a lot of people who do GST compete will probably know who she is because she loves an Instagram, as everybody will know that who knows Beth. And we started, me and Beth, our gym that we went to was a ladies only gym, and unfortunately it closed down, and we were like, oh, gonna have to start to look for something else. At the time Beth wasn't really into exercise. I think she thought it was something that she had to do because obviously I was going. So anyway, we found a local gym, used to go along, do hits, boot camps, things like that. And it got to a stage where there were like these WODs, and like, what's a WOD? And all the water on the board. I'm thinking, oh God, I can't do that, can't lift that, can't row that fast, can't, bike that quick, just things like that. And anyway, Beth was like, shall we give it a try? I'm like, yeah, go on, then we'll give it a try. So that's what we've done. And we've done that for quite a while. But it got to a stage where there was no real structure to it. It was, you would go and do one WOD and then maybe do a boot camp the next day, then do a WOD. And sometimes you were ending up doing the same exercises like 3 days in a row. And it just got a bit like, this isn't really getting excited, isn't exciting anymore. It's not like it's the same thing. So Beth started training with Evander because he started to come to our gym. And then she went on to the GST compete, and it was like, well, Mum, why don't you come and give it a go with us? And I was like, absolutely bored, like the EMOMs and the AMRAPs and this, that, and the other. And I was like, just no, it's going to be far too hard for me. Anyway, I give it a go, went, and I think, oh, I quite like this. It's like, I just more or less what she was doing, I would just scale it down for something that I could do. Take like the weights off, just do what I knew I could manage. And then I was thinking, oh, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting fitter, I'm able to do more things. So then it come to like pull-ups, chest to bar, toes to bar, and Beth was like, just give it a go, like showing us the basics. And it was just trying to get your head around everything. She says, well, GST do a kipping program, why don't you give that a try? So done that. And I think it was about 12 or 13 weeks, and it was 3 sessions every week. And it was like just amazing. Everything just fell into place. All the little bits that you've been doing previously, the farmers carries, just strange like things with weight, it all just seemed to click. So then I started being able to do pull-ups, and then I could do toes to bar, then I could do chest to bar. Haven't quite mastered muscle ups and ring muscle ups yet, I must say.
Nor have I, and I've been doing it years.
I try, and what I think it's the getting on top of the bar. I've only ever done it once, and that was I done the first CrossFit Open in 2019, and it was like you had to get so many at the end of this workout. I can't remember which one it was, and I managed to get one, and oh my God, I was just over the moon. I mean, it was the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. It was like kicking my legs trying to get up. But anyway, I got that. But back to my original story, I'd done the kipping program, brilliant with that. But then as we're starting to get on, and I was getting better, doing more, I was finding that I was getting like really tired. It was just getting a little bit too much. So again, Beth had said, oh, she says, I'm sure Stephen Fawcett's going to try and do like something a bit easier type of thing, something that can fit into a smaller space of time than training. I mean, I haven't got the time to train for 2.5 hours every day. I just haven't got the time. And I haven't got the energy either, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm 48, and it just totally, like, if I train for like more than an hour, everything just goes downhill, and you just think, well, I might as well just stick to the hour where I know I'm going to get a good workout rather than prolong it longer to do something that isn't really going to benefit us. So anyway, I've done that, and I think it's coming up to a year now. It will be about a year that I've been on the GST train. Absolutely love it. Best thing I've ever done. Sometimes there's workouts in that I can't actually do all of it, but I'll scale it for what I know I can do. Sometimes the weights, all the weights that you put, like your top weights in for everything, and then it calculates what your percentages should be. But say like a whiteboard workout or just something that's been thrown in, the weights are sometimes a little bit too heavy, but I just knock them down and do the same with the reps. If I think the reps are a little bit too much, I'll just knock them down, just so I'm getting the stimulus that I should be getting had I been able to do the heavy weights, the more reps, the things like that. And I just feel like at the minute, I feel fitter and stronger than I really ever have, which is just amazing for me, because I think when you get to my age, it's like people are looking, what are you doing that for? Why do you get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and train? You know, why do you do it? But if I just wish I could tell everybody how great it makes you feel when you've trained. If I could like bottle it and sell it, I'd be like a billionaire, you know, because it's that feeling when you've done something really hard and you've hit every rep and, you know, you're sweating buckets, and I just love it. I just absolutely love it. And I just wish that, you know, people would just see how good it is and how good it makes you feel, because I think everybody would give it a try if they knew what it does feel like to do something like that.
What were the biggest differences that you found in between the train and the compete?
Well, when obviously it was Beth that was on the compete and I just took bits off it, it was everything's just dropped down like slightly, you know, like I might not do as many sets as what Beth's got to do. Obviously the weight and the fact that it breaks everything down, so you know, like you're going to be doing this long should take you this should take you this should take you this. So if you've only got like a set, say you've got an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and a half, you know that your program, you were going to fit that into that space of time. You're not going to be like, think, no, well, I've got this isn't doing, try and rush and get everything in at once. It's just really compact and full of like really good stuff in a short space of time. If you're really struggling for time. I mean, I find it hard when people say they can't find an hour out of a whole day somewhere, either like I say first thing on the morning or when you come. I mean, even if you come home late. I mean, I work till 7 o'clock some nights, and I can sometimes come and think, right, I'm going to do my program today and not switch it around, because I do 5 days training. But the great thing with the GST train is you only train for 5 days. So say I work different shifts, like 1 week to the next. So 1 week I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll maybe have the Thursday off and do Friday, Saturday, or then I'll change it and do Monday to Friday and have Saturday and Sunday off, depending on where I am with work, how my body feels and everything. So it's very versatile. You can switch it around. You're not having to just stick religiously to every day, and you can mix it up as well. It's brilliant that you can do that.
What's interesting is that you decided to go for programming initially, especially as you're probably quite, in the scheme of the things, young in your CrossFit career. Why programming over finding a box?
Yeah. Because like I say, where we actually first went, it was like a mixed gym. It had like the bodybuilding side and then like the functional side, but the emphasis was more on the likes of boot camps, hits, stuff like that. You know, they would maybe only do like 3 or 4 WODs a week. It wasn't like a structured CrossFit. And it's only recently that there's been a box local, CrossFit Chesley Street, that opened near to where we live. But obviously we'd started all of it then. And then obviously when I looked at the training, and I thought, well, I quite like doing my own thing. I can just go in, do what I've got to do and come out, because I get easily distracted. I'm quite a chatty person. So if I was to go training and there's somebody in, I'd say, 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. And all that time adds up. Whereas like doing this, I'm the only one doing what I'm doing. So I do get through things a lot quicker. That's probably one of the main reasons why I changed.
How much do you train with Beth now? Now you're on slightly different programs.
Well, the GST train and hers at the minute, the compete, have been pretty similar. Some of the workouts have been like working hand in hand. So I might maybe not have as many rounds to do or things like that, but we do train together, and I absolutely love it, because she's one of these that will just not let you rest. You know, you will work when Beth's training with you. I mean, it's brilliant because, like I say, with the train as well, if I've trained, like say I've trained this morning, but then I'm off to work, I would come in later on, and if Beth's training, I'll go, oh, I'll go out, and if she's doing an EMOM, I'll jump in the EMOM with her, or I'll do some little bits of extra like accessory work with her, because I know I've got the time and I can, and she's out there, which encourages me to do that little bit more as well. I mean, we trained together, what day was it? I think it was Wednesday we trained, and we had front squats, and I was like, no, I'm not putting that extra weight on. She was like, just try it, just go for it, just try it. I was like, no. Anyway, sure enough, she says, man, they were easy, just put the weight on. Sure enough, I did it. Now, had I been on my own, I probably would never have took the little bit extra weight on, but you know, it was all good. I'd done it, and she's like, there, you see, I told you. Sometimes I need to just have a little bit more faith in what I can do and not doubt myself all the time, because I'll go like, I'll say to Beth, like, oh, the time cut on that's like, it's really like hard. She'll go, just give it a try, just try it. And then I'll go, oh, yeah, you were right. You know, I managed to get this. I managed to do that. And she's like, there you go. You just need to have a little bit more confidence in what you can actually do. But I love training with them. I mean, obviously, when we were allowed to training with Beth and Evander, that was just because obviously Evander is just an absolute lunatic. You know, he will just go and go and go and go. But what was good about when we could train like that was that because the nature of CrossFit, we could all do the same workout, but obviously I would do maybe less reps, less weight. I can remember one in particular, we'd done this workout, and my weights, I had dumbbells, and they were obviously lighter than what Beth was prescribed to use, and Amanda had like really heavy ones. And because I was beating them, obviously with like nowhere near the weight he was using, oh, he was, I'm going, no way she could have beat me. And you know, it's just that's so good that even me being this old codger and him this young lad, we can like actually compete together, because that's good for like, that's my weight type of thing and that's your weight. So, you know, it evens itself out really well. But I love training with like the younger ones as well, because I do think it pushes us on. And I don't care if I'm last. I don't care if I'm working 10 minutes after the finish, which usually did happen, to be fair, when we'd done anything, especially if it was like for time and it was go on and on. Like Beth and Evander would be sitting having a drink, and I'll be still like working my bum off, like trying to get this finished. But yeah, it's just, I just love the fact that you can all train together. It's brilliant.
How have things changed since COVID? How are you guys settling into the new normal with training?
Well, we're quite lucky because my husband's actually built us a gym in the garden.
Amazing.
So we have this lovely little, we've got this lovely little space. I mean, we've got a bike erg, we've got a rower, we've got a squat rack, we've got 2 bars, we've got dumbbells, kettlebells. Because when it happened last year, we just had everything in the conservatory, and it was just a nightmare, because obviously you couldn't lift really heavy, because obviously you couldn't drop the bar. But I think you just adapt to what you can and can't do. There was a lot more running come into it, because obviously it's easy. And then obviously when John built this, it was up and ready in about September time. So we've had this space. So when the second lockdown came, we were like, well, we are like prepared for it. So to be fair, I think I've probably trained harder in lockdown than I probably would have had I been going to the gym, because I'll go in there and there's just no distractions whatsoever. If you don't do it, you're sitting on your own just looking at 4 walls, so you might as well put your music on, crack on and get on with it type of thing, you know. So there's just no distractions whatsoever. It's just, we're really lucky to have what we've got, really.
What's so nice is how much you speak about your daughter and how much you train together. But were you as close before, or have you become closer because of the training?
Oh no, we've always been like really, really close. But now we've got like, because obviously we share a hobby, basically. You know, I mean, Beth will tell him, Beth is, in my eyes, Beth is like, wow, she's amazing. I love watching her. But she'll be like, well, I just do it as a hobby. But hers is like the next step up, obviously. She does like to compete. And my biggest like wish and hope that everything goes back to normal and that we can actually compete together is, I mean, in a scaled competition, obviously it would have to be. But I done a competition last November, a year past last November. It's my first ever competition. And it was scaled, and I done it with another girl from the gym. And honestly, the weeks before, I was absolutely petrified. I was like, my God, why on earth did you decide to do this? This is just the worst thing ever. I was hot the day, went hot, bright red, sweating, nervous, sickly. And you know, when we started, I just absolutely loved it. And that's what I would love to do with Beth. Obviously, like I say, it would have to be scaled, but I would just love to compete with her. Probably not at the time, because obviously she's evil and she would be like, get up, the way
Come
she
away
is.
on that bar.
But just to do something like that with her. Yeah. Don't put it down, don't drop it, keep a hold of it, But yeah, I would love to do something like that with her. That would be great.
What would you say to other mums who have daughters who do CrossFit and they look at them and are a bit nervous about it? What advice would you give? Because clearly it's just worked so well for you guys and your relationship and your fitness.
Yeah. Well, I would say just give it a go. I mean, I know a lot of people are put off by seeing a bar with weights on. Don't use a bar, use a PVC pipe, use an empty bar, just do the same movement. You don't have to think that you've got to go into a gym and lift weights like that or dumbbells that heavy. Use 6 kilograms, 5 kilograms, whatever, just give it a go, give the movements a go, because all the movements that you do with a bar or without a bar are good for you anyway. The squatting position over your head, just things like that. Anything that's, even if you feel like you're really unfit, and everybody's got to start somewhere, at least you're moving your body. And it's something, if your daughter does do it, you can do it together. There's always a way of scaling a workout so you can all work together. I would definitely say, yeah, give it a try.